Hello, everybody. It is good to be here for yet another farm meeting. It is a Wednesday night. I admit it's a little bit later. I'll explain in a minute why it's a little bit later. I'll give everybody a couple. Oop, hold on a sec. Gotta turn that off. I have like a whole wall of monitors going when I do these, so I can like see the different feeds to make sure like Twitch is working and make sure YouTube's working and Facebook's working, and so it's all going. And I see so many people queuing up here in the chat. And okay, wow. All right. Sorry, I gotta turn off my notifications, or else I'm getting like text messages from friends. It'll take forever. um, but yeah, I see our mods. I see Lynette from 13 Moons Over Mayhem and Katrina from Sow and Tear. So thank you to them for joining. Hey, Debbie from Massachusetts is here. What's going on, Debbie? First question of the night. Alco Chaser gets it. How's Honky Kong? Honky Kong is good. Honky Kong, I am pretty sure at this point, Honky Kong is now my biggest goose on the farm officially. And so, yeah, Honky Kong is good. He's doing good. Hey, what's up, Mike? I see Mike's here. I see Assassin's here. I see Karen's here. Corzo's here. What's going on, guys? Hey, I always love when you guys come out. It's fun to hang out. It has been a busy couple of weeks here on the farm. And like I was saying, I apologize for having to start this one later than usual. I had to go to my town select board meeting. And so I think select boards are kind of more a New England thing than other parts of the country, but it's kind of like the equivalent of like city council. Like, we don't have a mayor in our town. It's a tiny town. It's like 700 people, but we have the select board that just takes care of all the town business and manages things. And I had to go to the meeting to represent this group that I'm actually now the president of Peacham Community Housing. And we're doing this like housing development project in town, and so I had to like go there and talk to the select board about some stuff. So I apologize for being late, but I had to do that. It's really kind of important. And so yeah, here I am. What's going on, Jess? Good to see you. Goat farmer from Jamaica. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, RJ, our local fan, is here. Are you going to the Peacham Fall Foliage Festival tomorrow? Yeah, I will probably stop by at some point. I don't know exactly when I'll be there, but I will definitely pop by. We are like here in Peacham, we are like, I would say peak came just a tad earlier, and like late last week was kind of peak into like early this week. And it's now starting to fade a little bit. Like some of the leaves are coming off, but there's definitely some good foliage. It is the most beautiful time of year here. I mean, there's lots of beautiful times. I mean, like November and May are probably the two ugliest months. April. But we are definitely in the midst of one of our most beautiful times of the year. All right. What other questions do we have? Who is my favorite audiobook narrator and why? Is it Ray Porter? I mean, Ray Porter's good. My buddy Chris Shula, who did make an appearance on the Toby Dog book. He played Pablo and a few other characters, Grodiotis. He's always good. I will admit I'm very partial to Jim Dale's reading of the Harry Potter series. And then also very partial to Frank Muller's reading of a lot of Stephen King books, but particularly the last Gunslinger books that he did. So the late, great Frank Muller was also another one of my favorites. So yeah. And I will, I'm just going to keep firing through questions tonight. I'm going to keep going for as long as I can. I've had a very long day. What did I do today? I actually hung a gate today. So there was a video I put out. It was probably like in May about, I cut a hole in my fence that goes between the lower pasture and the upper pasture. And I just kind of patched it up, but I never quite put in like a gate or like replace the fencing. Today was the day. Actually, 2 days ago, I set the post for this gate. And then today I put the cross beams in and nailed the fencing in place and put the gate up, and I did all of that work. And so now I can easily go from one pasture to the other, which was always one of my biggest pet peeves, that I couldn't, like if I was up at the entrance of where the cattle are, I couldn't go down to the permaculture orchard without having to go outside and then go back inside. Now I can kind of just go straight through. Actually, Abby Dog is going to be the one who's most pleased about that, because she can now follow me up on her. When I go up on my bike, she can follow me up, and I think she's going to be very stoked about that. She actually hung out with me today while I was putting in that fence. It was kind of fun. But yeah, I had that. I had the PCH meeting. I had a doctor's appointment. I was just like running around doing a lot of stuff. So yeah. Okay. Ramen. Hey, what's up, Ramen Noodle? How's the Great Pumpkin doing? It's good. So I have one Great Pumpkin ready to go. I have another one that's still growing just a little bit. I will probably pull all of the pumpkins this weekend and get them ready and figure out which is my biggest pumpkin or pumpkins that I have. I have two really big pumpkins. Like, I would not say they're massive. I don't think I'm going to win. I think I know I'm not going to win. One of my neighbors, she's got like a giant pumpkin. Like, it's holy smokes. And so I'm pretty sure they're going to win, but I'm trying to beat Alfred. That is honestly, that's my real goal here. It's not necessarily to win my town's contest, but it is to beat Alfred. Ooh, excuse me. And I don't have any weights yet. So I will do a whole video on the pumpkins. You will see that, going everything from picking the pumpkins to the contest. Like, yeah, I'll definitely be covering that. And if you guys want to come to the pumpkin growing contest, it'll be October 18th here in Peacham, right in the town green. I think it kicks off like around 11 or noon. There's going to be like all sorts of stuff. There's the farmer's market going on in the center of town. Peacham Cafe is open and doing some stuff. The library is going to be doing some stuff. It's going to be like a whole town event. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, definitely, if you're in the area and you want to come out, I strongly encourage you to. That would be a good thing to come to. You can't come to the farm. I got to say that. But if you're in the area and you want to experience Peacham, it's a great activity to do. All right. Okay, so Charlie is asking, good evening, Morgan. When are you getting a buck and a bull? Because I can't see you artificially soon. So, all right, so those are two very different answers. So the buck, which is probably the easier answer, I will either buy or rent a buck when it comes time to get Bluey and Bingo pregnant. But it's going to be a while. You know, the recommendation is for Nubians, especially, you don't want to get them pregnant until they're about at least 18 months. And so, given the gestation period, I would probably actually end up shooting for like a February-ish, January. Yeah, February 2026. No, February 2027 mating would be, yeah, because like the other thing I'm working with is like I don't want to have like little kids born in the dead of winter. And so Bluey and Bingo they were born in February, and they're, I don't know, I'll call it 6-ish months old right about now. They would potentially be available for breeding come like, let's see, so like August-ish, September of 2026. But if I did that, and I think goats are 5 months, 4 or 5 months, I think 5 months. So if I did that though, I bred them, say, in September. That gives me February babies. That's too early. Probably what I'd love to shoot for is like a late May babies. And so given that, that would mean I'm probably going to look to try to have a buck on the farm by like January 2027. So we are a little ways away. You guys will watch Bluey and Bingo grow up. I've been working with them already in terms of halter training and bucket training. And I got to admit, I am just loving having them there. They're just, I love the boys and I love them. And it's just, I'm bonding with them all and I'm having a lot of fun with them. And so it'll be something like that. Now, Charlie, to your question about the bull, I am actually potentially going to sell Betty and Belle. So Betty and Belle were two heifer calves born from Macho Man last year. They've grown up well. They're big, healthy girls. I might actually sell them though, because one, you're right. I just don't have the setup for AI right now, and I don't want to add another thing, nor do I necessarily want to add another bull for just two females. And so there is a strong chance I will sell them. Also, the other thing I will say is cattle prices right now are very high. And so it's not a bad time to be selling animals. And so there is a decent chance that I will sell them, is the real answer to that one. But I won't plan to get another bull, at least for right now. So yeah, and I don't have AJ, I don't have any weights yet. So yeah. I did see my buddy Alfred at the select board meeting. Alfred is actually the chairman of our select board, so he was there running the meeting. Hmm. So, Assassin, this is a very, very good question, and I could spend like 6 hours on this one. I think a couple of things. Number one, I would say that. Well, let me think about this. What would I say? I think the most important thing is that if you want to be a small creator, you got to make videos. I do talk to a lot of people who like want to do YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and they're always like they like have a lot of ideas and they're thinking about a lot of stuff. But the reality is, the most important thing you can do is just get in there and start making videos. And I think for some people that's actually hard advice because they don't want to do that. But falling in love with the process of making videos is probably the most likely predictor of that. So if you can be in love with making the videos, that's step one. Assassin, I know you've got a channel. I know you've been making stuff for a while. I think the other thing, kind of, if I'm going out with where you're at, and Assassin, you know what? Just because I know you have been watching for a very long time and have always appreciated what you've done. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can dig up your YouTube channel. If you're comfortable, and let me know down in the chat, if you're comfortable within this one, I will like do a little channel review and maybe give you some specific advice, because like I said, I appreciate you and I want to help you any way I can. So yeah, so then I think I kind of answered that one. They're doing very, very good. They're adorable too. The other thing I'm noticing is they're louder than the boys in terms of when they see me or know that I'm like around the barnyard, they'll cry for me and like want to run right over to me. Bluey has like a traditional cute like goat cry. Bingo has kind of a derpy goat cry. I don't know what it is. It's just like and it's pretty hysterical. No, peak is not, at least not for here in Peacham. Peak is not usually mid-October. Nah, I have personally never seen it be peak in mid-October here. First week of October is kind of maybe what I'd call the normal. But no, it by mid-October, most of the trees are like defoliated. So yeah. Okay, Jermaine asks, "Good evening. Any cattle asks you're considering belted Galloway cows?" So yeah, I mean, I guess the thing I would say is this: the Charolais have been sold. They haven't been picked up yet. I'm trying to work out the date and timing of that, but the Charolais are going to be leaving the farm. So Astrid, Amelia Bedelia, Alice B. Tokless, Betty White, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They have been sold. So I told you guys I'd be selling cattle this year. And so, yeah, I have sold those 5. I don't have any plans to add any more cattle right now because, like I said, cattle prices are very high. And to me, the logic of buying cattle when the prices are high doesn't make sense, just to have more cattle. And I will admit, like, I'm getting to the size, like, the herd is almost at the size where I'd say I'm at capacity. We've had a drought this year, so hay prices are higher. I have less grass. Like, typically I have enough grass to last me at least to Halloween. I will probably run out of grass by next week and have to start feeding hay. And so, like, all of those factors make me say it's not a good time to add animals. So I won't be. So for what that's worth, I don't mean to disappoint you, Jermaine, but it'll be more like your name. The goats are the newest animals that we're adding, and I don't have any plans to add any more animals this year at all, this calendar year at all. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesse, don't feel any a reason to apologize or feel any shame in that. There's a lot of videos. It happens. It's all good. Hey, what's up, Kelly? Good to see you. Oh, State College. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nittany Lions, correct? Yeah, we've been really dry here. We had some rain last week, but even now it's back to being really dry and really dusty, which, like I said, the hardest thing is just that we're not getting a lot of grass growth. And so like I said, I have run out of grass. Oh, Rebecca, thank you for that donation. Yeah. By the way, the charity for tonight is actually Peacham Community Housing, that nonprofit that I'm on the board of. And basically what we do is like we help like put on things like our farmers markets, and we help manage a couple of properties in town, just like in essentially the public interest. And then like senior housing, we have there's like 6 apartments we manage now. We're actually adding 4 more in the mix right now, which is that project that, like I said, that I was talking about tonight. And so it's a nonprofit. It's like all volunteer organization. So it helps us do things like pay our town taxes even, and that sort of stuff. How do you separate your personal from business finances? Do you have business specific loans and credit cards? The answer is yeah, we do have like business accounts and cards and all of that sort of stuff versus like our personal finance stuff. I mean, I just basically have like a farm account set stuff, and so all the farm stuff gets paid for by that. Is basically how it works. It's not extremely complicated at all. We have like Allison and I have our joint household accounts, and then we have other stuff like that's yeah. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be saying it, but no, it's I mean it's just that simple. Um, yes, all hail mods. 100% agree with that. You know, I listened to the Stephen Fry once. He doesn't do a bad job. I don't mean to trash it. It's just for me because it was the version that I listened to initially. Um, it like I basically hang on a second. I'm trying to mute. How do I turn off iMessage? I tried to like close it and it wouldn't go away. Hang on. Sorry. It's just really distracting. Yeah, I for me, Jim Dale is like the sound of Harry Potter. I know. Matt Pearl saying hair. I don't know. I'm just keeping going to how long. This is maybe the longest my hair has ever been in my entire life. And I don't know. It's going. It's definitely getting into mullet territory. I was wearing a hat today, so I definitely have hat head. I don't know. I would be curious on both. I just don't. Here's the thing. I don't know what to do with it. Do I just get it cut? Do I cut it? Like I usually cut my hair myself, and if I did it, it would be back to being like really, really short. I could go to a barber, but I don't even have a barber. There's not a ton of barbers in Vermont. It's a weird thing. Low populations, I guess. Did you ever recover from Wilkes-Barre? There really isn't much there but coal and trains. Yeah, I mean, like what I found is that like my experience is gosh, I can't turn it off. I don't know how to turn it off. It was fine. It was a nice town. I mean, I was there like middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I have recovered fully from that trip though, if that's your question. I did go to the Peacham Fall Fondo. Yeah, the Fall Fondo. So we have a big bike race. So my friend Ian, who is a like professional gravel racer these days, he was like a professional just bike racer. Like he was in the Tour de France. Like he's the real deal. He and his wife Gretchen for several years now have put on this huge gravel bike race in Peacham and the surrounding area called the Peacham Fall Fondo, and that was last weekend, and it was amazing. They did an amazing job. It's such a great event. If you ever have a chance to go, hey, what's up, Rick? Good to see you, man. All right. I would not go that far. Honestly, again, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It looked like a rather cute little city. I I actually kind of liked it. I mean, again, very, very limited experience, but I would not be quick to trash Wilkes-Barre. No haircut says Nunster J. Uh, I mean, so I probably wouldn't chip the livestock necessarily just because it's like, expensive and like even if you chip it, like chipping them doesn't like I can't like so I'll use your example of Pigfoot, Casey. The only way chipping them would happen, like would be a benefit, is if somebody found Pigfoot and then we scanned the chip and then it ID'd me as the owner. That would be the only benefit of it. So the barn cats and the dogs are all chipped. I have no plans to chip the other animals because like I just don't necessarily see the purpose in it. Yeah. Yeah, beat your buddy out. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be close. Alfred is. I don't know. I'm wondering if he's playing psychological war games with me here, or if like he's got just a gigantic pumpkin. I have intentionally not gone to his house to peek and look, but he has come. Because he comes here regularly. Like I've taken him into the greenhouse a few times, and he's kind of hemmed and hawed and looked a little bit. So I don't know. The birds have not eaten the pumpkins, nor have the goats yet. He has like on Instagram, Alfred has posted like little teaser pictures, like, but it's hard to tell because it's like maybe like this much of pumpkin and like mostly leaves. And so I don't know. I'm not sure. Hey, what's up, Bug? Good to see you. Hey, Nest Homestead, how are you guys doing? Here's my husband burning question. Please share what you do for your eyes for the thumbnail and why. What do I? Oh, you know what I do? I do like lighten them a little bit because there's like all sorts of studies about eye contact, and like usually because I'm wearing a hat, my eyes are like shadowed, or because like I'm looking into the sun, I'm like squinting, and so like I lighten them up a little bit. That's pretty much the only thing I do, but it's all just like in Photoshop. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, yeah. So as RJ is saying, yeah, Vermont across the entire state really has been hit pretty hard with the drought. But specifically with the farm, it has been kind of tough. Like, we've run out of grass. I'm being very careful with how I water the animals right now because I don't want to let our well run dry. Thankfully, that hasn't been the case. I haven't been able to do certain things like the spring development project. The pond is like mud right now and barely functioning. It's been a tough year in terms of the drought. I mean, I would actually say it's still been easier than last year when we had the horrific flooding, but it hasn't been easy. I don't think I'll be selling any goat meat anytime soon, Bartram. So, like, to explain where like the plans are, right? So with Bluey and Bingo, my goal is to milk them. So I'll be raising them up to an age where they can have kids, and then those once they have kids, they'll be milkable. Those kids, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be one of those things of like I'll just see how I feel about it. I could raise their offspring for meat, but I doubt that I would get them commercially processed, and I would probably just end up doing it myself. If they're females, if I'm really liking the milking, I might end up keeping those females and adding to my milking herd and trying to expand things up. Or maybe I'm just like, no, this is fine, this is just enough. I don't know. I mean, part of why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it is because I wanted to be able to give myself the chance to like kind of ramp up and like make decisions along the way based on how I'm feeling about it. That has been one of the biggest, most important lessons I've learned with the farm and raising different types of animals is you always kind of want to start small if you're doing something new and see how you feel about it kind of step by step and stage by stage. And so like that has been a philosophy I've very much carried on for quite some time. And so yeah, like, and that's how I'm basically approaching it with the girls, and so it'll be step by step. But I don't have plans. They're not big meat breeds, and so like they would not be all that profitable, and so I wouldn't let anything go to waste. And if I had like a couple of doeling or sorry, doelings, bucklings, I think they're called, like the male kids, basically. We would not keep them on the farm for breeding for obvious reasons. I wouldn't want to probably add more wethers because I already have the 3 boys. And so those would probably end up getting raised as meat. But that would just be meat for our personal consumption. Since Macho Man's offspring, will you separate out the heifers until they are in 7? Yeah, like basically what I do is I separate out the daughters. Like I was saying earlier, Betsy, I might sell his daughters from last year. I was actually talking to somebody who's interested in potentially buying them. And if anybody else is interested in buying me, feel free to shoot me an email, goldshawfarm@gmail. If you're looking for 2 heifers, they're bucket trained. Um, Betty Rubble lets me brush her. Belle is a little bit shy around the brushing. So I don't know if anybody's interested, let me know. Oh, Gene, I've been a lifelong Red Sox fan, which Reminds me, I gotta check something here. No, I have been a lifelong Red Sox fan. It's oh shoot, it's fourth. Yeah. Um, yeah, I have always been a Red Sox fan. I grew up in New England. Remember, like, so I'm not like a new transplant to New England. Like I grew up in Central Connecticut. It's funny where I grew up is quite literally the halfway point between New York and Boston, and so growing up, you were either a Red Sox fan or a Yankee fan, but it was like 50-50 in our town. And so nobody was a Mets fan. um, and so like I grew up always a Red Sox fan. I've always been a Red Sox fan. I went to college in Boston when I was my first year of college. I lived like 4 blocks from Fenway. And so I had this tremendous ability to like just go to games, and I would show up at the third inning when the scalpers were still there, but they were like trying to get rid of any excess tickets. And so I could get game seats for like $5-10 and like get phenomenal seats. It was also like, this is like 98 or so, or like 2001. Like they had some really bad seasons back then. And when they had bad seasons, it was so easy to get tickets. There was like one year, there was one year I went to like 45 Red Sox games. It was amazing. And so, yeah, I've always been a Sox fan. And unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be a game 3. All right. Yeah, hey Pyrogen, it's good to see you. By the way, I saw your comment. Yeah. I'm not like a huge AI fan either. But I am phenomenally fascinated with it as a tool, and am very committed to learning about it. I don't like a lot of the aesthetics. There are certain things that I like to experiment with. Like, so for example, there are some music things that I've done that experiment with it. There's image things I've done. When I made that video, I shouldn't say about Pigfoot. There might have been some artificial enhancements there, but yeah. So, but I like I said, I think there's a decent chance that I sell Macho Man's 2 older daughters that we have on the farm. Maybe in 2 years from now, I might have my act together for the AI stuff. But I don't know yet. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm breaking Ramen Noodle's heart. Sorry, buddy. NBX, the news on the Hay project is both Alfred and I got too busy this year. We've got like most of the equipment. I'm still trying to find a good baler. Square balers, like old-fashioned square balers, are really hard to come by on the cheap. And so like they're like $8,000-$9,000, $5,000 I think was the cheapest one, but that one needed a ton of work. And so I just haven't found a decent purchase on that front. But I think it's going to be kind of extended out into next year. All right. Hmm. Oh, this is probably the time that I should plug my book. So, by the way, I just want to mention I do have a new book coming. Thank you guys to all of you guys who have purchased it so far. Um, I also, though, wanted to say, yes, we do have a new book. It is coming. It is called Dirt Rich Living. It is the story of kind of how I ended up on the farm. It's got all sorts of inside stuff that I have never talked about in videos. The autographed editions are available for sale. There's also a whole bunch of pre-order stuff. The new October pre-order, which do I have any sitting right here with me? No, I don't. Oh, but I actually do have a copy of. I'm actually starting to do readings for the audiobook version. So I literally have like a printed out copy of the book right here. And yeah, I'm super proud of it. It's actually the thing I am proudest of ever writing. I really hope people enjoy it. And it's not like just a pure farm book either. It's like it's got stories from the farm and various like ups and downs, but it also has some philosophy stuff. It goes into all the dirt around like the Abbey breeder situation, the hound hunter situation, buying the farm, quitting my job, like all of that stuff is there. And so yeah, you can get it here. I will drop a link down below here. So yeah, please, but if you can, the pre-orders too. I know folks are saying, well, I want to wait. Honestly, if you pre-order, it makes such a huge difference. There will be a Kindle edition, like a digital editions for various e-reader platforms coming out later. There will be an audio version. Like I said, I'm gearing up to start the recording on that. But yeah, this copy, if folks buy it, it helps us because if I can get enough sales now in the pre-order, that's what actually helps drive getting it carried in various stores too. So that's why, like, I feel like such a nag, and I feel like almost bad, like constantly doing these commercials for the book. But honestly, that's the biggest thing that it comes down to. So yeah. All right. So AJ Jenny is asking important things. Whalers fan. So yes, I grew up a hardcore Whalers fan, no doubt about it. When the Whalers died in '97, I gave up on hockey for darn near 20 years. It wasn't, it was about like 16, 17 years. When I moved to Washington, D.C., I had a good friend who I worked with. He started taking me to Washington Capitals games, and that's how I became a Capitals fan, because there was no way in heck I was going to ever root for the Carolina Hurricanes and Peter Carmano's. Like, they were dead to me. And so I have strong feelings about which teams you root for and how you land on them. And I believe you have to, like, you root for the team that you grow up rooting for, whether it was like a family thing or geographically where you were from. I am a little suspect on people who are like, like my age and are Yankees fans or even Patriots fans to a certain extent. But yeah, I always grew up rooting for the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Celtics, and the Whalers. And then once the Whalers died, I adopted the Washington Capitals because I lived in Washington when I got back into watching hockey. And I even had like season tickets for a couple of years to go see Caps games because I love hockey. Hockey might be my favorite sport to watch. It's either hockey or baseball. Oh, G'day, Rebecca Piaz. That's the worst Australian accent possible. Well, thank you, though, for the support. I really appreciate it, Rebecca. Okay, you're trying to grow on TikTok. I mean, honestly, hi, Marshall, if you're trying to grow on TikTok, the biggest thing is just to make content. Like, especially in your earliest days, like, and this is going to sound extreme, but honestly, this is what you got to focus on. 6 good videos a day. It's hard. TikTok is a real grind. I mean, is partially right why I don't do a ton of TikToks anymore, just because it is such a grind. Plus I also find like making the YouTube videos are way more satisfying. YouTube and the Facebook videos, the long videos. I have no plans for goat showing. Animal shows never interest me all that much. Trailering the animals, moving around, like, it's all stress for the animals, stress for me. It's not what I like doing. What I have been experimenting the most with is figuring out ways to move the goats around different parts of the farm to see their impact. Like, that's the stuff that I really geek out into and getting into it, like grazing management and landscape management and doing all of that stuff. The showing stuff is not like the thing that like really gets me going. That is like, it's fine. Like I have nothing against like the shows and stuff, but I just don't feel like it's for me. For me, the thing I love is like the pure animal husbandry, and then how the animals interact with the landscape. That's the stuff that I love the most. That's where I enjoy it. Why did I stay at the Super 8? There are better hotels an exit away. I mean, I think because one, it's really cheap, and two, I was only planning on sleeping for a couple of hours anyway because I wanted to get to Jess's house as soon as I could. And then three, the other thing is like, typically like when I do a trip like that, I didn't book any hotels or make any plans in advance. My plan had always been, I'm just going to keep driving until I get tired, and then when I get tired, I will just like, ask my phone to find me, like, and I default to something like Super 8 just because it's like it's not horrid. It's like the most mediocre basic hotel you could find, and there's a whole bunch of them around. And so that's kind of how I ended up there. When I was driving back, I think I mentioned this in the video, I just wasn't comfortable leaving the girls in there and like going into deep sleep inside a motel room where I wasn't like right there with them. And so that's what made me opt for sleeping at a truck stop. Need to get you and folklore and fable booksellers together. I mean, I'd be curious. I don't know folklore and fable booksellers, but it sounds like a very intriguing name. I like both folklore and fables. So yeah. I am not selling Elvis actually. So he's going to be the one Charlet that stays. I mean he's like a Charlet Highland cross. He is a steer, so he is going to be raised for meat. Um and he will spend his entire life here on the farm. I do a vet check once a year, so we'll be doing a vet check. Usually, I shoot for like November-ish. I think I've already got it scheduled. I got to look at my calendar. But it's usually once a year, unless there's something else that's needed. That I do like once a year herd health. No, Buffy is not Baby B. Baby B is Beatrix Potter. She's a full Highland. She's actually with the main herd this year. So Baby B, if you guys, I mean, and she was like the one baby I had that one year, and she was awesome. And she's like super tame. She's brush trained. I can walk her around. She's great. She actually, I'm hoping, knock on wood, I'm hoping that she's actually pregnant by now. And so she'll have her first calf next spring. And honestly, of all of my Highland cattle, she's going to be like what she would be not going to be. She would be one of the last that I sell. Like she's Ariel's still my favorite cow, but Baby B is probably my next favorite. Well, she's technically a heifer still, but like she's probably my number two. I mean, she looks good. She's got a good body. She's got a good temperament. Like all about her. Like I really like Baby B. But Buffy is she is like the buff, like light brownish Charlet that I have. So the four girls who are in the lower pasture, the heifers. So there's Belle and there's Betty Rubble, who are both pure Highlands, and then there's Buffy and Betty White, who are the Charlets. Buffy and Betty White are the two that I'm they have already sold them. I'm just waiting for our pickup date. For Betty Rubble and Belle, I might sell them. I have not closed on a deal on them. And again, if somebody's interested, I'm definitely listening to offers right now. Oh, well, thank you, P&H Nut. I appreciate you saying that. I try to do my best. I don't know if I always do, but I try to be thoughtful in this stuff because I think it's actually really important for for my sanity as well as for the health of the animals. Yeah. I'm going to talk about this right now because you guys on the farm meetings, you always get the inside information. I will probably make a video about this in the next few weeks, but I'm actually documenting what's going on right now. Just this week, Allison and I have started an experiment of training Pablo to live inside the house so that he could potentially retire. Number one, I'm not sure if he's going to be okay with it. And so that's kind of partially what we're watching for. Number two, I don't know if he's ever going to be okay to like be in the house unsupervised without like ripping up all our furniture and peeing everywhere. And so he's in like a room in the house right now, being trained to the house, and like we take him out when we can supervise him. Like like Lil's sleeping over there right now. Like my office is kind of off limits to him, and I'm trying to keep this to be like Lil's pure space. Generally speaking, though, Pablo and Lil get along really well, and so we are training Pablo to see if he can make it into the house and like become a house cat. And if that's the case, he would end up becoming that. And he'd probably be like an indoor outdoor house cat. Is sort of where we're leaning towards. And if this works out next spring, I would actually probably end up getting a kitten to backfill so that we have two outdoor barn cats. And so it'd be Ginny and this other cat. And so that is something we are doing. We just started doing it. This actually yesterday was the first day, and today. And so I don't know. Like I said, I will make a video about this in a few weeks, not anytime soon. But just between us, that is actually something that's kind of in the works, the prisoner. And by the way, I kind of like that you have like the prisoner avatar there. It's kind of cool. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. Yeah, I'm not going to go there, but my extreme sympathies to you. It must be a very chaotic time in this horrid place you live. It's like, what? I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go in there. I'm staying up. All right, hold on. Yeah, oh, AJ, you guys have drought in Connecticut too? Yeah, I mean, I was actually talking to my mom. Like, yeah, she was saying how it's been a tough garden year. Um, but yeah, no, we have it. Like, it came on like all summer. It has been wicked dry here. So, Rick, I mean, the initial with Bingo and Bluey, it's not enough to like really have like a commercial dairy operation. My plan will be just that it's like milk for us, and I'll probably experiment with making cheese, and then from there, who knows? I mean, that's part of like what I'm trying now is like to say, like, um, like that's is that something that works for me or not? Yeah, no, that is actually something I have been working on. It's been like I've been going around and like brush hogging certain areas to like essentially not make fire breaks, but like make it so that it's not like a horrible disaster waiting to happen around key areas of the farm. Oh, hey, St. John's. That's cool. Good to see you there, Karen. Yeah, Anthony, I mean it's basically looking at what market rates are, comparables, and trying to go. It's like, for example, like I have unregistered Highland heifers, like what are they typically going for? Like how do these animals look specifically? What are their behaviors like? Usually it's a conversation, it's back and forth. I'm not a hardline negotiator. Pretty much everybody I've sold to has been friends, and so it's very like what do you think's fair? Well, that sounds fair to me. Okay, good. And it's not like I'm trying to make like a big deal. I'm just trying to get a fair price for him. Which you'll actually see a lot of that reflect. I'll talk about this a lot when I do my year end, how much money the farm made video this year. The sale of the cattle will be one of those things that factors in. I mean, honestly, Katrina, it has been like very much kind of a mixed blessing. I mean, like it was not nearly as bad as last year, but it was a different kind of bad this year. I mean, it's been tough weather wise. The last few years have been tough, extremes one way or the other, essentially. But I mean, and I think I made a TikTok about this the other day. Like that's the challenge of having like extreme weather volatility. It's this like it makes it really hard to kind of manage some of that stuff. Allison likes my hair. She's saying, well, it's like she wants me to get it cleaned up. Is actually what she's been saying the other day. Like she's like, it's getting kind of weird. You're getting like these wings on the side, but otherwise she actually likes it too. She does not like a beard, which is why I don't have the beard. And I would probably do both right now if she was cool with it, but she's not. You know what? I actually will give you that. The Andy Serkis reading of Lord of the Rings is outstanding. I completely agree with that statement. Nope. Homestead, Japan. Morning. I made it half a year farming, had my hair as long as and it was gone. Dude, oh wait. Oh, that's cool. Well, hey, congratulations on at least getting a halfway. Yeah, it has not been bad. I haven't minded it. Just I toss it up in a baseball hat and it's fine. Yeah, we have some pretty dark gray winters, a lot of snow. Usually a lot of snow. Like, probably 60, 75 days of snow a year. So it's a fair amount. Uh, hold on. Oh, hey, Hope. Yes. Actually, I do still have the fleece. It's over in it's in actually Allison's office. Yeah, no, it's this is cool. Good to see you, Hope. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, what's up, Rob? Recently found your YouTube channel a few months ago. You inspired me to start my own farm. Would you recommend starting a farm with a couple of chickens and ducks? All right, and when you say farm, I'm assuming you're saying like kind of like homestead, not thinking of it like a pure commercial operation, like you're quitting your job and just doing that. So I'm making that assumption about you, Rob. I think, yeah, I think I would start with either chickens or ducks. I would strongly advise against doing both in the same season. Only because, especially if it's your first time, you're going to be learning a lot as you go, and trying to do that for two different animals that have different needs is kind of hard. And so I would strongly caution you against doing both of them. I think pick one or the other, which I mean, I think chickens are a little bit easier, but I wouldn't tell you that you're crazy for wanting to start with ducks. I started with ducks. And they're a lot of fun, and honestly, you might get more out of it just personally, and you might find it more satisfying with ducks. So just pick which one speaks to you personally the most, and start with some of those. And like, so just kind of start slow that way. And like, yeah, you will have eggs. You will probably be able to sell them to your neighbors and friends. It's great that way. And like, once you start that way, you can kind of go from there. And so that would be my advice. Mike says, let the hair grow until next year. Yeah, honestly, I kind of in that. I'll probably end up getting a cleanup haircut here or there, but I'm kind of in the mindset of maybe letting it grow a year and see where it goes. Yeah. So I have it drying right now. So I've picked all of it. We don't have as much as we did last year, but there will be some, and I will do a sale. Let's say that I'm going to plan to make that that'll probably, it's either going to be the November or December live stream, Gene. So yeah. And by the way, hold on, I'm going to pull up something because you guys are going to want to get on our mailing list, and I'm still having all sorts of I've been trying to build this new website. I screwed some stuff up. I'm trying to fix it. I apologize. So the Goldshot Farm website is down right now, and I'm dealing with some stuff. And it's also not the thing that I'm motivated to work on, which is like my curse. But I'm gonna drop a link in a second. You really should join our mailing list. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to be making a special announcement. When I announce the sale of the catnip, the first place you'll see it will be through our mailing list. So by joining the mailing list, that will be your best bet for getting the catnip. But the other thing is, there is a special project I am working on. I'm not allowed to say what it is. It's got nothing to do with the book. It's a totally different thing, and it will be coming. It'll be announced later this month. And I think a lot of people are going to want to participate in it. And so, oh gosh, I got to verify. Golly geez. Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to get the link from my mailing list so I can drop it in there if you guys want to sign up for the mailing list, if you haven't already. My point is this, like, you really will want to try to sign up for the mailing list because that's where you get all of the good announcements from. And so I strongly encourage you to sign up. All right, now give me a second. I apologize. I just need to find this, and I'm so bad at multitasking. I think this is it. Hang on. Okay. It says for the Toby Dog book, but this will work for right now in a pinch. If you click on this link will and I don't know if Katrina or Linda, if you guys mind just flagging this link. And I'll flag it as soon as it comes up too. Hang on. I'm jumping ahead in the chat. There. Boom. If you just type this link into your browser and sign up that way, you'll get the news. And that'll get you on the mailing list so that you can get this special announcement. The special announcement will be made. I'm going to even tell you guys some important dates to keep in mind. So there's going to be an announcement number 1 made on October 13th. And that will be, you'll get an email from my mailing list making this announcement. Or if you're on my Patreon, you'll get you'll actually be the very, very first to get it. It'll go through there. Or if you're on our Discord server, you will also get the notification then on the 13th. And then there will be a live stream that I do talking about this project on Friday, October 17th in the evening. it'll probably be like a 7 or 8 o'clock live stream that I do talking about this project. And like I said, it's going to be fun and people might want to get into on it. And there's going to be a limited number of opportunities on it. I hope I'm not being too cryptic, but I think that's all I can say for right now. But October 13th, if you're on the mailing list, that's when you're going to get the info there. So that is that. Loose hair with a PTO scare. Yeah, I don't think I'm in that terror. Like, so Alfred has very long hair. Like when he takes that, he has like down to his like lower back, mid back. So like, I don't think I'll ever get to that point. And so that's when I would worry about like a PTO accident for sure. But I'm not even anywhere close to that, at least at this stage. Yeah, I mean, Pablo's always been fixed. I mean, we've always had him be fixed. He's 11 years old now. Actually, he's almost 12. And so, that's where, and Allison just cares so deeply about him. And she's like, he's an old man. I want him inside. I'm like, all right, we'll train him inside. And so we are in the process of training Pablo to be inside. Allison loves the new goats. She has this habit of like anytime she's out working in her garden, she lets the girls out of the main yard and she just has them like basically nibbling on the weeds that are at the edges of her garden. And she loves it so much. She loves those two goats a lot. Yeah, I am. I think that is a fair criticism, Drink and Stitch. Fair enough. By the way, yeah. So if folks want to get onto the mailing list, yeah, like you'll see like a little sign up form just like this. And so the link for that is, yeah, I'm just copying it and pasting it down here. This will get you on the mailing list if you're trying to get on. You'll see it pop up for me in the chat. You should like the way I've got it set up to only I or the mods can ever post links, and so yeah, just know that. Well, I mean, so it's not that she gets to tell me who to be. It's like, who do I care? Like her opinion is the opinion I care the most about when it comes to my looks. I mean, I'll admit that. So I don't know. I don't see it as that bad. I tell her I prefer long hair, and she's like, "Hey, would I get it cut short?" I'm like, "No." It's just the same thing where she's like, "I don't like a beard." I'm like, "All right, that's fine." I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like I am being directed to do something extremely detrimental to my life choices. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, I mean, Rebecca, like I was saying, yeah, I am getting rid of the Charlet, and it's spelled a little differently, but yeah, they will be gone from the farm by the end of the month. Oh, so Justine, I mean, for me personally, I grew up in New England and I don't like hot weather. And so Texas is far from being desirable on that front. I think, admittedly, I think the politics actually plays a little bit of a role of our choice too. Like, we actually thought about like rural Virginia just because we were living in Washington, D.C. at the time, but it just, I don't know, culturally didn't fit our vibe. And it was like we wanted to get back to New England. And so um it was kind of like here, maybe Maine was like also on our list, but we liked Vermont too because it's like a little bit closer to our family where it's not too hard for family to come up for a weekend or something. And so it kind of felt right for us in that regard too. But definitely Texas is like the last place I would try to start a farm. Like the heat, the dry, no, like it would never be Texas for me. Blow your nose. I don't have any tissues. I apologize. You know what it was? I was petting Lil. I do the same thing I do every time I have a live stream. Sorry. And it's tough because I'm the only one here. I'm on camera. Oh, that's really good to hear, Hope. I'm really glad to hear doing good. Yeah, yeah. See, drinking Stitch has got the right of it. Like that is exactly what it is called. 100%. Yeah, it's not even that my nose is stuffy. It's just really, really itchy because of my allergy. I would actually say, Sylvia, that is definitely on my list of experimentation. And so, to think that I might start selling goat milk soaps, is definitely within the realm of the possible, particularly with the girls. So quite possible. Black Opal, if somebody was asking why don't you get horses, it's exactly what Black Opal's saying. Plus, I'll say like horses don't necessarily speak to me. I mean, like they're fine, but I don't find them nearly as appealing as an animal. You know, I've had friends with horses and spent some time with them, and it's like they're okay, but they're money pits, and I don't know, it doesn't quite work for me. I really like getting around the farm on a bike. And so like people are like, oh, you could get around your farm on a horse. I'm like, I guess I could, but the bike's a little bit easier. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Yeah, by the way, if you want to get on the mailing list, this is the link here. So like this mailing list right here. Now I'm like wicked self-conscious about my nose for that person. Sorry. Hey, what's up, Martine? Good to see you. Hey, I know that I mean, I realize this 100%, and oh, it's the final score now. All right. This is yeah. So look, I committed to doing the farm meetings, and so I do the farm meetings. It's good to see you, Melissa. Um, so Bruno, I would say that my limit for cattle 30 feels about like the right number. I'm at 28 right now. It'll be down to like 25. It could be as low as like 21 by the time winter hits, and then actually it will be about 20 by the time I start calving next year. And then it'll probably go up to about almost 30 again. And so like you're gonna see me over the next few years cycling in and out of cattle. This is where so I first got cattle in 2021, the fall of 2021, and I started with 5 animals, 4 cows who were pregnant, plus 1 steer. By the fall of 2022, I had 4 cows, 4 calves. By the fall of 2023, I think I had I think I was at like 11 animals by that point because I'd bought 1 or 2. Then last year or like 2024, it was like I was up to I think that's where I got it to be about 20. Like I said, I'm at like 29 right now. And yeah, so like 30, I could go a little higher than 30 if I really needed to. But yeah, I feel like it's about the right size. And so now it's like picking and choosing which animals match what I want to do, and like having a mix of steers, my bull, heifers, cows, like that's a big part of it. That's actually a pretty funny idea. I got to come up with an idea. I mean, right now everybody's bluey themed, and so I might just stick with that. But that actually could be kind of funny too. I love the way, like, especially Barnacus and Telemachus, they have this way of like standing on their rear heads and then like dive bombing down with their head, and it is my favorite thing to watch. I crack up every time when I see it. It's a lot of fun. Oh, my phone's telling me I should go to bed. Yeah. All right, RJ's hair is longer than mine. Wait, the link's not working? Shoot, wait. I thought that link would work. Hold on. I thought that link worked. Hang on. Yeah, this link should work. I just tested it. This is the link for the mailing list if you're looking for it. Yeah, Rebecca's got the right of it. There you go. I am all sold out on chestnuts this year. Again, they sell out so quick. I have a list of like 14 people who want more of them. So why am I selling the white cows? It's a couple of reasons. One, I have to thin down the herd and I didn't want to carry that many animals into winter is part of it. Two, cattle prices are really high right now, and it's just like any other asset, right? You sell when the market's high, you buy when the market's low. Three, I don't like the Charlet nearly as much as I like the Highlands. I mean, it comes down to that. I have like they're not bad animals. They're just a little bit more ornery. They're a little bit more unpredictable. They eat a lot more hay. And they're not nearly as tame and easy to work with as the Charlet. You'd think the cattle with the big 3-foot horns sticking off their sides would be the ones you got to watch out for and are dangerous, but they're not nearly as dangerous as the Charlet. And because like I just find them to be they will do unpredictable, especially Alice B. Toklas. I don't like her at all. They can do some like really unpredictable things, and so I just don't like it. And so those factors have me selling them. Again, I could have chosen other cattle to sell, but when I was like I basically sat down and like made a list of all my cattle and like kind of was ranking them, and they all came at the bottom. And I'm like, well, let me just stop doing this and just focus on the Highlands, which is what I'm doing. I don't want to disclose that yet or the Joey date. I will at the end of the year give you the full breakdown, but I've got a couple of reasons why I don't want to say the number right now until all things are final. So, Joe, that's Elvis, and Elvis is staying. So he is the only of the Charlet that will stay. And like I said, I'm raising him as a steer, and he will be ultimately for the freezer probably 2 years from now, maybe a year and a half. He is. It's funny when I look at Elvis, he is easily the biggest of the calves I have right now by a good margin. I mean, he's like, it's funny. He's about a month older than Sly, the ninja calf, but he is not quite twice as big, but he's close to he's a lot bigger than Sly. He's a big boy. Yeah, there might be like a little warning thing that Bitly puts up, but it should work. And don't worry, it's a legit, like Rebecca's saying, it's a legit link. You know what, Rebecca, I realize what you're saying, and I think you know what I meant. Either way, you have my sympathies. And yeah, it sounds pretty horrible. Actually, a friend of mine, she just went out there for the forest fires too. Oh, there will be more goat. The video tomorrow is another goat video. I can promise you that, birds. Aw, well, Duke, that really warms my heart. I'm really glad to hear it. So honestly, Quilted Kitten, that is actually another thing. Alice and I were just talking about that. Yeah, if Pablo does make the full transition in, I'm gonna have to get allergy shots, and so yes, that will be something I end up doing. All right. So I've actually gotten this question a lot. When I left Jess's farm back in February, I did not know that I was going to get them. But like Jess was like, I did have a conversation with Jess at the time. I was like, oh, so like, what are you going to do with them? She's like, I don't know. I'll probably sell them. And she's like, why? Would you be interested? I'm like, maybe. I don't know. And I kind of left it as I needed to talk to Allison, which again, I think that like spouses should be having conversations with their spouses about major life choices, everything from appearance to like, hey, should I get these new animals on the farm? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's like a part of a good, healthy relationship. I don't feel like I'm being told what to do because I have this like partner in life that, we generally try to make like joint decisions. Yeah. So I don't feel bad about that at all. But yeah, like, so when I came back, Allison and I had a couple conversations about it, and like, like she was kind of like iffy on it, but then she also realized like, oh, this wouldn't actually be that bad. And the other commitment I made, and this is partially why, like, why don't I have pigs this year, is because I knew I was getting set up for this, and I probably won't even have pigs again next year just because I want to be ready for this. And so, like, it's one of those things. Actually, I might do pigs next year just because next year shouldn't be too bad, because it's just like I have these two doelings and they're not going to be bred for next summer. And so I don't know. I haven't thought about this enough. But my point is simply, it was conversations with her. And so probably by like March, probably by like April, I was like, all right, we're doing it. And so that's when I said, Jess, I'll take them. And she was like, awesome. And then we planned that it was going to be like in August or September that I'd come down and get them. And that's how it worked out. All right. I will, but I'm fading a little bit, guys. Apologies. It has been quite a long day for me. And, yeah, what can I tell you? So I'm starting the last few rounds of questions here. I don't watch bull riding. I mean, I think I went to like one bull riding event once. I'm not. I mean, it's fine. It's not exactly for me, but I have nothing against it. Um, I'm not. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the beef tallow soap this year because of timing. There will be some point when I do beef tallow soap again. So the answer is yes. I just don't exactly know if it'll happen before the end of 2025. Point taken, Justine. Point taken. Wait, all right. Sometimes when I'm watching the chat, like I obviously don't see every question. That's why like I ask if you like put your questions in caps. It makes it easier for me to pop them out. But I'll see somebody's response to somebody else, and it's so intriguing to me. I'm like, wait a minute, what did Nelson say? And now I'm going back through the chat because I'm like, I missed what Nelson said, but I'm so intrigued by what Black Opal said about what Nelson said that I'm like, huh. What did Nelson say? Black Opal, do you know what Nelson said? I mean, you obviously probably did. I'm looking. I don't see a Nelson. I see. Uh, is it what Rebecca Nelson said? Too laid back and tend to cause more trouble than the Highland. Yeah, I mean that. So I guess you're talking about the Charlets. I'm so intrigued by what Black Opal said. Yeah, I'm very curious about this. I tell me about it. I did not even sit down and watch the game because I had the select board meeting and then I had this, and like I went from one thing right to the other. And so yeah. Yeah, horses and Red Dead Redemption are the only time I really like horses. Can you tell us what you know about the collars that the goats came with? They actually didn't come with collars. I bought two collars just for the trip. I just did this yesterday. I replaced those collars. I mean, I still have them if I need to move them around, but I actually got the plastic breakaway collars just because they're safer for the girls. And that way I can like kind of move them around, but also not worried about them like killing themselves. And so I just got like they're like these plastic breakaway collars that people really recommend for goats. And so I just bought those. I got a blue one for Bluey and I got an orange one for Bingo. And so yeah, you'll see those popping up in videos soon. I don't have them like the video you'll watch tomorrow or even the ones next week. You won't see them, but like I said, I got it yesterday, so it's brand new. Who are your best cow moms? Definitely Ariel. Audrey's also pretty good. Anna Green Gables is also an excellent mom. Honestly, I should actually say Anna Green Gables is number 2 and Audrey's probably number 3. All right. Nice Catholic girl asks, how many calves am I hoping for this spring? Well, let's do some math. All right. So we got Ariel, Annabelle, Anna Green Gables, Audrey, Amanda Hug and Kiss, Baby B, Belinda Carlisle, Bonnie McMurray. So it would be actually those 8 would be who I hope to have calves from for next year. So yeah, that's the hope. Hey, what's up, Andre? Hope all is well. Question for the night. 5 years from now, what is your vision for the farm? That's a really good question. I I don't know. So like I kind of see the farm still simplifying a little bit. I think it's gonna like it could in theory have more goats. But I also don't want to say, hey, and overcorrect and now I'm all about goats just because I like it right now. Excuse me. So I'm going kind of slowly but surely. I think the cattle will still be a big part of it. I think maybe doing more like how do I put this? Like doing more like habitat production, like having things where I'm having to feed my animals less and less stuff that I buy, and I'm able to feed them from the land more and more, if that makes sense. So, like more food forest and more like even doing some of my own row cropping to feed the animals. I think that might be something I start to experiment a little bit more. And so like 5 years from now, I might hope to see something like that, Andre. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. That's a great question though. Thank you for asking that. Oh, Mike. The two projects that are like the bane of my existence, the streaming from the yard and my website. And I got to finish my website first. That's the high priority one. But then I will hopefully have this up and running by the winter. And like there's a goat playground I have. I got all these plans and no execution. The story of my life. You know, it's going to be hard to say goodbye to Joey. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think it will be hard, but it's also necessary. It's the right thing to do. Yeah, you know, it's funny, BKM. It happens so much quicker than you'd think. They add up quick, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I've really enjoyed working with the cattle. I think that there's. I was actually talking to Allison about this. Like, so like my happy place is in the summer months when I'm moving the cattle. There's nothing better. I don't like when I'm getting to this point right now where I'm going to have to sort cattle and wean cattle and do vet health checks. And I admit I'm like always like on edge and highly stressed during calving season. It's fun, but it's also stressful. And so those are like my least favorite times of the year, especially in the spring, because it's like also muddy and mucky and the cattle want to get out, but they're not ready to get out on pasture because the pasture's not ready. Like I hate all of that. But like a July morning moving the cattle, it's and like especially when like we get those magical misty Vermont mornings, there's nothing better on the planet. And so yeah, it's been great overall, BKM. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Rebecca. Yeah, so actually, Thea's saying she'd like an autograph book. So we are selling autograph versions. I had problems with this with the Toby Dog book, and I actually figured out a solution for it. And so, yeah, if you want this kind of version, I'll drop the link for it here. This company, Premier Collectibles, I'm working with specifically for the autograph versions. Like if you get it from like Target or Amazon or any of these other places, which is all great, you can get them from any of those buyers. It's all good. You get that, and like they will automatically enroll you in the pre-sale program. By the way, if you pre-sale bought not from them, just send me an email with like your receipt and I will get you on the list to get the pre-sale bonuses. But what's really cool about it from Premier is like it's $5 more. So like if you buy it from anywhere else, it's like I think it's $30. If you buy it from Premier, it's 35, and that's because it's autographed. And yeah, that like yeah, there you go. That's the best way to get the autograph version. I know, Andrea. Never say it. Never. There are a lot of Rebecca's in the chat tonight. I will give it. Got Schwartz, Nelson, and Mudshank, at least. Oh, 100%. Like, it'd be extremely different. I'm very, very grateful to have him as a friend and neighbor, exceptionally. All right, I'm getting to the last question here. We're gonna find a good one. And I'm skipping ones that I've already kind of answered. This won't be the last question, but I'll answer it. If I do get pigs again next year, which is an if, it would probably end up being 3 or 4 pigs again. That feels like exactly the right number. I know, I'm bummed the Sox lost. I just saw the box score, and I guess the Dodgers Reds game is going now, which I'll probably actually watch before I go to sleep. Okay, all right. I'm jumping ahead. Oh, hey, Tiana, thank you for that. Can you see who pre-ordered it? Ordered. If tell you what, Tiana, if you just if you have a receipt, because you should, if you ordered it from somebody and you got confirmation, you should get some sort of like confirmation email. Send me an email with the receipt and I will happily like get you on any pre-order lists. It's goldshawfarm@gmail.com. Goldshawfarm@gmail.com. And thank you for that. That's very kind of you. Grand Theft Equine is my name for yeah, or Grand Theft Horse. I feel like I've heard a lot of people call it over the years. Yeah, I need an antihistamine. You're 100% right, AJ. The 5-year questions are very hard. I'm still looking for a good like final question end on here though. All right, can't get distracted. Let's keep going. Allison seems much more comfortable in front of the camera. Is she? Yes and no. So Allison is always comfortable on camera when she's comfortable about what she's talking about. And so like that's why she always likes to do the garden video every year. It's because like that's her place. She really knows what she's talking about. She feels good with it. She has fun with it. She doesn't like having a camera just stuck in her face at like random times. Like she wants, like, there'll be many a time where I might even be shooting a video and just like turn the camera to her and she's like, don't do this. And so I was like, okay, we're cutting that out. and so like, yeah, she doesn't want to be on camera when she's not ready to be on camera. That's actually the big thing. She needs a prep. Like me, because I'm just such a blabbermouth, I can just be anywhere at any time. Just go. It's fine. I don't care. But for her, she really wants like kind of like almost mentally prepare and be ready for it. And so she is much more comfortable, but if she has the ability to prep. And so I try to always do my best to give her that chance. And yeah, she's actually working tonight. So I was gonna say, oh, I'm going to see Allison, but I'm not. she will end up probably coming to home like she's like working like the evening shift at the emergency room. So I'll probably be asleep by the time she gets home. But yeah, that is all I got. Again, new video tomorrow. It'll be an update on the goats and how they're doing. And you'll see Bluey and Bingo in action. Also, yes, be sure to check out Dirt Rich Living. Available for pre-sale now, and pre-sales, they are super, super helpful. So I really appreciate them. And yeah, one last call for if you want to get on our mailing list, you should, because there is another little special project that I think I can say this. It's a project that my friend Jess and I, like Jess, who I was just at her farm with the goats, she and I have been working on for a little bit of time together. It's going to be a new thing. And it's not like a podcast or not anything like that. So don't, no new YouTube channels, nothing like that. But it's going to be a fun little project that we're doing. And so we're going to be making announcements. If you're on like the insider list, whether you're Patreon or Discord or on our mailing list, you'll find out on the 13th. And if not, we will be doing a joint live stream on October 17th, Friday, October 17th. We'll be doing something together that night, and we'll be talking all about it, and you can get involved. But you might want the early edition of it. I'm just going to leave it at that. So with that, I hope everybody has a great night. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.